Letting go of the seeker identity, embracing personal responsibility and alignment. In the modern spiritual landscape, the concept of seeking dominates the conversation. People search for fulfillment, for enlightenment, for meaning. Yet in the very act of seeking, they reinforce a subtle but profound illusion that something essential is missing. The seeker identity becomes an unending pursuit, an attachment to the next book, the next teacher, the next transformational experience or workshop. But what if the act of seeking itself is the very thing that keeps one from realizing the stillness and fulfillment that's already present? This is where personal responsibility enters the discussion. Many spiritual seekers unknowingly abdicate responsibility for their own state of being, believing that the right method, teacher, or external shift will finally bring them home. This belief keeps them trapped in cycles of longing, disappointment, and frustration. True responsibility is the recognition that no external source can provide what is inherently an inner realization. The question is no longer, how do I find what I seek? But rather, how do I dissolve the illusion that something is missing? One of the most potent distractions from this realization is the collective addiction to fear-based information. The legacy news media, social media algorithms, and political narratives all thrive on fear, conflict, and division. These external forces shape perceptions, fostering a sense of chaos and powerlessness. Those caught in this cycle of fear-seeking become deeply identified with the world's problems, believing that staying informed about every crisis is a form of responsibility. But what if real responsibility is not in reacting to the noise of the world, but in steadfastly aligning with the living current of life? The choice then is between alignment and reactivity. To opt for alignment is to release the need for perpetual seeking, the need for validation through external upheaval, and the belief that fulfillment lies in some future attainment. It is a radical act of self-ownership. It is stepping away from the collective trance of lack and fear and into a life where the present moment is enough and where the living current is recognized as the only authentic and true guide. Letting go of the seeker identity does not mean one ceases to learn or grow. It means that growth is no longer driven by the unconscious assumption of lack. It means resting in stillness, allowing life to unfold naturally, rather than grasping for outcomes. It is a return to wholeness, where responsibility is no longer a burden, but a simple, clear acknowledgement of one's own sovereignty. This is the emptying path, a path where fulfillment is not sought, but revealed, a path where responsibility is not a weight, it is a liberation, and a path where alignment is not an effort, but the natural state of being when all else is let go. The illusion of seeking, letting go of the seeker identity. In a world that constantly tells us to chase, seek, and strive, we must ask ourselves, is the spiritual search itself a trap? Many who embark on a path of self-discovery unknowingly become entangled in a never-ending cycle of seeking, mistaking movement for progress and desire for fulfillment. But what if the key is not in finding something new, but in letting go of the need to seek at all? The burden of over-responsibility. From childhood, many of us were conditioned to believe that we must take on responsibilities that are not ours to bear. Whether it is for the happiness of others, the state of the world, or even the success of our own spiritual journey, this weight becomes an anchor, dragging us deeper into stress and suffering. This burden keeps us locked in a state of hypervigilance, unable to rest, unable to trust. True responsibility is not about carrying the world. It is about maintaining our own inner stillness and trusting the unfolding of life. The seeker identity, a perpetual trap. Spiritual seeking often begins with good intentions, a desire to grow, to awaken, to evolve. But for many, it becomes an identity, a role they play indefinitely. And the seeker never arrives. The seeker always needs another teaching, another experience, another validation. This cycle is not enlightenment. It is an endless loop of dissatisfaction, keeping one's focused on an imagined future instead of the reality of presence. True alignment is not found through seeking, but through surrender. The addiction to fear-based information. Just as seeking keeps us restless, so too does the addiction to external information, especially that which is fear-driven. The world is saturated with crisis narratives designed to provoke reaction, anxiety, and engagement. This addiction to doom and gloom is another form of distraction, keeping us locked in the external, reactive mind rather than the stillness of the present moment. To reclaim our energy, we must consciously choose where we place our attention. Choosing alignment over attachment. The alternative to these cycles is simple yet profound. It is attunement over attachment. Rather than seeking endlessly, we turn inward and allow life to unfold naturally through alignment with the living current of life. Rather than carrying the weight of the world, we recognize that true responsibility means maintaining our own inner stillness. And rather than being consumed by fear-based narratives, we reclaim our energy and focus on that which is life-affirming. In conclusion, the seeker identity, over-responsibility, and the addiction to fear are all interconnected. By stepping into the emptying path, we free ourselves from these unnecessary burdens and begin to experience true peace. Let go of the need to seek, to fix, or fear. Instead, align with the living current and watch as life unfolds in ways far beyond the grasp of the restless mind. Call to action. If this message resonates with you, reflect on where you might be holding onto unnecessary responsibilities, or chasing external answers, or engaging with fear-based information. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What have you discovered on your journey? And be sure to subscribe for more insights on walking the emptying path and living in true attunement. Until next time, peace be with you.